spelled B-U-F-F-E-L-S, Buffels Hoek, H-O-E-K, Buffels Hoek Dam, all one word. And what Buffels Hoek means Buffels means buffalo, and hook means corner, so it's been termed Buffalo Corner. And a lot of the areas out here in the various reserves and also roads will be named after animals or trees that may have been common in that area, obviously at the time that the area or dam was named. That will vary over years, but as I said, it was just a few days ago that we had 200 or 300 buffalo drinking here, so they certainly do spend time here, and it just means Buffalo Corner. In Afrikaans is the language, and Afrikaans is essentially a language of Dutch origin. And for those of you who are watching in Holland, we would be able to converse and we would understand one another, even though some pronunciation would be different and some words would be different. We would certainly be able to have a conversation with one another. When I say we, I mean the Afrikaans speaking people of South Africa. My Afrikaans isn't very good, but I can get by. Liam, on the other hand, who's on camera behind me this afternoon, is from an Afrikaans origin, so that's a little bit of the diversity we have in the cultures. And there's another 9 local African languages here in South Africa, so we really do have an array and diverse culture and population in this country, which is wonderful. We've just got an update or a question through from Sandy in Texas. Now, Sandy in Texas would like to know if I've heard any updates on the Game Drive channel regarding the hyena den sites. And I did hear somebody was going there, but that was all I heard. And I'm just going to ask the guys for an update right now, Sandy, so stand by for the answer. Can any station confirm if the MPCK has been active this afternoon? Copy, thanks, Craig. So Craig was there about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, he says, and it was not active, and just as well, because it would have made life difficult for us in terms of what to do. The den site is quite far from where we are here, and we're kind of in a position now where we would like to probably invest this time with the lion a little bit later on. As I said, we don't get to see lion as often as some of the other predators, or especially leopard, and that does vary from week to week, but we do have some catching up to do with lion sightings, and I can't wait to see and spend more time with them this afternoon. So just as well the hyena den site's not active, because then we'd be torn as to what we should be doing. We will certainly plan on going there tomorrow, so, and again, like I said, hopefully we'll have 2 vehicles out, and that way it allows us to also spread throughout the reserve, and different guides can go and check different areas and share different content with you, whereas this afternoon you're just stuck with me, sadly. So if you are desperate to see the hyena den site, I am sorry, and you'll just have to wait until tomorrow morning, because I feel this afternoon is a good time for us to spend with these lion. And speaking of which, I think we should head back over there and see if their behavior has changed at all. Craig, there's Aubrey here with myself, Sean making his way. You can take a first standby. On the fire break, close to the eastern arm that links down to Buffelshoek Dam, you will find a round leaf teak. And head south from there. We're about 50 meters south of the road. Well, even though she's just having a toilet break, at least we get to see her up and on the move. It does appear that the rest of the pride, you'll notice in the background, have got their heads up. The one's yawning. And these are all good indicators. Some are grooming. And these are the good signs that we were hoping to see. Well, it's difficult for me to count from where we are. It is very thick. I'm going to try and reposition shortly. So let's do that now. And then we'll count how many there are, but there should be 8. It's going to be a little bit tricky wherever we are because there's a lot of vegetation around them. But here we can see the young male. So he would have been born into this pride and is possibly the son of the female that he's grooming now. So a little bit of bonding between the mother and her boy. He may not be able to groom her for much longer, as I did say that he is getting to a stage where his fathers may chase him out of this territory. There's no set age for this to happen, but anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 years they can start getting pressure. He may be forgiven ever so slightly because he is on his own. If there was 2 or 3 brothers alongside him, they may well already be having to fend for themselves. Well, I hope you are having fun getting some screenshots, because this certainly is a beautiful, beautiful sight, and our timing appears to be perfect because the lion are beginning to move. There'll be a few more toilet stops, and I'm hoping then one of the lioness will get up and start heading south towards Buffelshoek Dam, where we've just come from, and then we'll get to see them drinking. So that's what we all want to hope for. Either way though, this is absolutely wonderful, and I hope you're enjoying every second of it. Just got a question through from Sharon, and good afternoon, Sharon. Sharon said that she heard that the adults will lose their spots or rosettes as they become older, yet she could still see the spots on some of the legs of these lioness. Now I'm not sure exactly which lion's legs you were talking about, as there's quite a few around here, but this one is a youngster and its spots certainly are more prominent than the older ones, but even the old lions, depending on the individual, will have rosettes visible. So it's just something that fades out but will always be there, just very faint, and depending on the sunlight and the angle you're looking at them, they may be more pronounced in certain scenarios compared to others. Buffalo's Hook Dam. Wow, this is absolutely beautiful, and you can probably tell by the sound of my camera going off that I'm enjoying taking a few pictures of this, and seeing as though you all have to listen to me clicking away, if you would like to see any of the pictures, I do put them up on my Facebook page, so go and have a look at that on Scott Dyson Safaris, or every now and then we also put them up onto the Wild Earth page as well. So check out those pages, and here we go. Here we have potentially the dominant lioness. It's just one heading off for a toilet break, but at any point now they could get up and start moving, and I'm confident it will happen in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Hopefully before that, and again, more of them appear to be getting up and stretching. So, for those of you who have possibly just tuned in, well, good timing firstly. I'm just going to let you know that this is the Nkuhuma Pride of Lion, so it is a Pride of Lion that we do see fairly regularly on our property here at Djuma, and there should be 8 of them. I can see 7 at the moment, but the 8th one may just be out of view. And now they are slowly mobile towards the dam, I'm hoping. And it's Buffalo's Hook Dam, so we're in the northeastern corner of our property. They are not heading directly there, but are kind of veering in the general direction, and I think what they may be doing is possibly heading onto a road that is close by and in the direction that they are moving off to now. And once they get onto that road, they in all likelihood will follow it to the dam. At least that's what I hope. So now we need to decide what to do. That's a bit steep for us to go down. And somebody's kindly just making a little bit of space for us. I'm just going to wait for them to get into position. We typically try and only move one vehicle at a time in a sighting when the animals are stationary. Just want to say thank you. Okay, just to keep everyone updated, there are 3 vehicles. I'm not sure how much longer the 3rd vehicle intends to spend here, but Sean is standing by and I am now looping ahead. They are on the move. Sean, maybe follow me and you can join us. They're hopefully going to pop out on the road here. Go ahead. Yeah, Sean, you were in lineup, so I'm not sure if the other vehicle's radio is working, but loop around, they're on the move now. They're hopefully going to pop out onto this eastern link down to opposite ground, so possibly follow me. So that joined into that sighting that actually shouldn't have. So I'm just trying to sort out that little issue, and now we've got nothing else to worry about other than finding the lion again. Now, like I said, I am hoping that they were heading through this thick bush that they know is thick. They've been here a lot of times, onto a road, which is a nice pathway for them to move down in order to get to where they're wanting to go. And I'm hoping they are wanting to go to the waterhole that we are now approaching. And at any point now, they could pop into view. It's always a tricky thing when relocating animals, or something that you need to remember is that it's taken us quite a while to reverse and get out of that position. We've done a big loop around, and they can move quite quickly when they do get going, even if they are just walking. Here they are. They're relocated on the Nkuhumas, they're on Buffalo's Hook East Road. Currently looking to possibly continue east, but we'll keep you updated. Yeah, and we've got more coming across from the going to pop forward into a better spot. And here we'll have them all walk past us, and they're using that pushed over acacia tree to sharpen their claws. And it was just a few days ago that I can hear one vocalizing. You'll hear the gentle murmur of her calling. And how awesome is this? One of the lioness up ahead was calling, maybe trying to rally the troops to get them to move along, and as you can see they are now following, and it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. Golden afternoon sunlight. Sadly, they are not heading towards the waterhole that I was hoping them to, and that's not a problem because we're still going to get to follow them on the move. And there's one of the younger cubs here that is, like I say, looking a little bit hungry, and that's why it's trailing. Okay. Now we are going to attempt to follow them through this bush. It appears like it opens into a big clearing, so it's not going to require much off-roading. And these trees that we drive over simply pop back up as we pass by, so not causing any major damage to them. This is going to be beautiful. There's a large open clearing here, and it appears they're going to take some time out to play. So I try and get us into a good spot to enjoy this. And what that might mean is we may have to loop a little bit ahead. Look at this, absolutely awesome. And I'm just going to continue to drive a little bit longer, and then we can stop and enjoy whatever happens. Beautiful. Well, it's golden afternoon sunlight, the clouds in the background, and all these lions to look at. Certainly is a wonderful, wonderful sight. And well done to VM. He's got some. Oh, get ready with that lioness there, VM. Looks like she might pounce. Keep an eye on them, they're looking playful. And they are highly social cats, and one of the only cats in the world that socialize to this degree. It's untypical behavior to find cats socializing, and it's just the lion that have realized the benefits of the social lifestyle that they live in. Craig, it appears that there's only 2 vehicles here now, so you can start making your way, and we'll give you an update when we're closer. Your best access will be off, I'm not sure, but we're basically heading directly east along parallel to the fire break, probably 300 meters south of it, so possibly on Cheetah Cut line. Wait for this young cub to catch up with the pride. It isn't looking very good, but it's in no means in dire straits. So if any of you are worried about the health of this cub, don't worry too much. It's incredible how resilient these wild animals can be, and it just needs a few good meals and it may be back up to scratch again. Now we did get very fortunate with this large open clearing that we were viewing them in. But it is going to get quite thick in here. I'm going to attempt to follow them. It doesn't look too thick, but just be ready for a little bit of crunching and cracking as we head through this dry vegetation. With the very sensitive mics and receivers that we have, it probably sounds a lot worse than it actually is. It is good to be out here this afternoon, and I hope all of you are having a wonderful time. It really has cooled down. The sun's probably got another 10 minutes or so before it sets, and hopefully we'll be in a position to show you that sunset. But the lions might upstage the sunset this evening. Now, it's always a little bit of a gamble, the pathways we choose to try and stay with animals and keep in sight of them. But this is not looking too bad at the moment, but we don't want to go too close to them and scare them in any way. So I'll just coast along slowly. They're just on our left. You may get the odd glimpse of them. Guys, before anything does happen, I was just going to clear up whether the stationary sighting stays in position or the sighting following the predator to avoid confusion. Bellowing and grunting up ahead, and that is because there's a herd of buffalo that these lions are heading directly towards. Now we are in the unfortunate position that there are already 3 vehicles in that sighting, and the protocol is that the people who are there get to stay there and we have to drop out. There's a limit to 3 vehicles per sighting, so we are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But what a beautiful sighting it's been. And what we're going to do is just enjoy a few more views of the rest of the pride as they come past. And this is the last 2 with the youngster in the background. And what we're going to do here is literally not even move and stay exactly where we are. The lion are not too far from the buffalo, and who knows, maybe the lion will chase the buffalo back in this direction. Either way, if something exciting does happen, the vehicles that are there will have their time to have a look at what's going on and then allow us to go in and have a look. But until then, we sadly just have to sit around and wait. What we can do is maybe just get back to the road. The buffalo are on a road not too far from us, but we are going to have to get back onto that road. So until we do that, hold tight and we will continue. Good afternoon. How are you doing, Sean? Good. Okay. What's your plans?
Yes.
To stand by nearby?
The cruise cab grates my carrots.
Okay, we'll see now. Let's find the road. Well, this would be a good opportunity for you to send through any questions you may have. And to do that, you would hashtag Safari Live on Twitter and or send an email through to questions@WildEarthTV. So feel free to send those through. I look forward to answering them. Now, I'm going to pull out my... No, I'm not. I forgot my GPS at home. Roughly where the road is, but I was just interested to see exactly what our closest option was. But very closely to the radio, because anything could happen, and it is important that I stay tuned into that. And while we're hanging around, I'm going to try and find another open clearing, because the sunset is just going to get better and better. But we need a little bit more elevation. This might do the trick though. Forward a bit, VM, or is that okay?
Forward.
There we go. So the sun is about to dip below that cloud, and it's basically wedged between the cloud and the Drakensberg mountain range. Absolutely beautiful. And we really have been spoilt with some incredible sunsets over the months, but these winter sunsets do have a certain magic about them. That's very kind of you, Craig. Thanks. I would like to take you up on that. I will be there in 3 or 4 minutes though, so take your time getting out. So there's some good news, and Craig, who does have access to the property where the buffalo in all likelihood will run when the lion do decide to chase them, has offered that we can go in and see what happens initially. So we're just going to give him a few minutes to make his way out of that sighting, and then we will join it. So good prospects, and don't go anywhere, because things are about to heat up. He has had a visual of the lion. They are currently actually lying up nearby. They obviously know the buffalo are there. They've headed straight towards them and would have heard them from far before we could hear them. And now what the lion may be waiting for is that sun to dip below the horizon. And this lion will know that under cover of darkness, they have a greater chance in bringing down the buffalo. It creates more chaos and confusion, and it is a large herd of buffalo that when they are in control of a scenario, and that is the buffalo, and they'd be more in control during the day, they can actually rally their troops and come back and chase lion off any buffalo. 100%, Craig. We'll just have a look at them, and as soon as there's a little bit of action, I'll move out and you can come back in. Craig, thanks so much, buddy. Don't go far because...
No, the lionesses are going into voyeurs and circling around. So
okay.
Inevitably they're going to chase them into torture if they are going that way. So.
Cool. Well, thank you very, very much, and have a good afternoon.
Too far.
It was important for me to just stop there for a moment. And again, express all of our thanks to Craig, because what he's done was very kind. And basically he has access to everything on the left of the road, whereas we don't. And he can therefore follow the lion and the buffalo, which are in all likelihood going to run that way. The lion, we're over to our right, moving to the left, straight towards these buffaloes. So we can expect to see them moving across the road if and when they do decide to chase the buffalo. I think they could well wait for the cover of darkness. Now what I'm going to try and do is park in an area where you've got a perspective over here. So it's not going to be the best view of the lion initially, but I just want to give you an idea of the scenario at hand. So you can see the young male, he's lying up on the termite mound. He's looking down towards the buffalo, which are down to his left. Not far away. There we go. So, there's 8 lion in this pride, of which 6 would be able to actively contribute towards the hunting. 2 are very small and a little bit malnourished at the moment. Anyway, there's 6 lion, but they are essentially up against hundreds of buffalo. We only saw a fraction of the herd, and the lion off any buffalo that was unlucky enough to have been pulled down. Again, just bear with me. I want to try and just get into a good position. Hello everyone, how are you doing? Okay, oh, hey, fell over there, which is hard to believe. Okay, this is another angle, and again, we'll just get VM to pan across and show you exactly where we are in relation to the lion and the buffalo. So, here the lion are, and this is certainly not the first time they've come across the buffalo, and it won't be the first time these buffalo have experienced these lion. So they're expressing a little bit of wisdom here, and again they know in half an hour or so it will be dark, whereas later, whereas if they tried now, the buffalo would be able to see them coming and also be able to regroup easier. You'll notice we could only see 2 lion on this termite mound, and successful, and also that's what makes them be able to take down large prey like buffalo. No, there's only these 2 that we can see here. Others could have looped further to the south, further to our left essentially, and be trying to encompass the buffalo. It may be a waiting game though. Well, I'm not sure. This looks to be like a younger, like pivotal members of the hunting unit yet. She seems eager to get more than her brother, but you'll find her brother would probably be a far more useful lion to have if you could choose when hunting buffalo, because he adds a lot of bulk and power to their units, whereas the lioness are not quite as big and strong. Even though he is a young male, he's still considerably larger than even his mothers. What I would like to do is go down and get amongst this herd of buffalo, because the lion aren't doing anything and they are going to follow the buffalo, so we may as well stay with the buffalo. And I would also like to show you these buffalo. It's a beautiful sight as they move off down this long dusty road. Apologies, I had my volume down. Okay, cool. So VM has just spotted a lion to our right. Again, I do just want to get into position. Oof. This is worth seeing. Can you see this one here, VM? At 3 o'clock. So, this is incredible. You'll notice one lioness. You have to look carefully, but she's there. And now VM can pan across to the left, and you get an idea of how close the buffalo are to her. She's probably 30 meters away. So very close. But that individual there is a big male. She's certainly not going to want to try and take him down. It's the smaller calves and the older, weaker females that the lions will specialize in hunting out of these large herds. Craig, just to keep you updated, the Ngala are still just keeping an eye on the Nyari, but doesn't seem like anything's going to happen just yet. Okay, so the lioness is on the move. Again, she'll just keep a close eye, and by being close by and continue to put herself in a of an older, wiser lioness. Kind of flowing slowly away from the buffalo towards the lion, but it's very gentle, so at any point the buffalo could pick up the smell of the lion, and once that happens, you're going to see a lot of hooves and a lot of dust. It's a little bit too thick for VM to film the lioness moving, but she is continuing to move. As the buffalo are moving down the road, the lion are following behind. And there's a termite mound up ahead here that I'm guessing she may well pop onto. buffalo, he's got a fright. So the first buffalo, I've got wind of the lion, and a little bit of a fright. But there were certainly 2 or 3 big bulls, and you can even see some looking back now in that direction, looking back towards where the lion were. So possibly they just got the scent, but it all still seems relatively calm and peaceful here. So they just had a little feeling of danger, I guess. If they knew they were lion. Ooh, there's another buffalo coming now. It's way back. Copy. Just got visual of it, thanks. Can't see any of the lion behind it. Will continue towards us, I feel. And it's getting darker and darker every second. Are you okay there, Jim? Yeah, perfect. And look at this, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. The rest of the pride following behind her in tents. This is awesome. It's for us to be here and stay with them and watch, and we certainly will stay as long as we can. Again, the buffalo are very large individually, but collectively as a herd they are massive. So even these lion, who are powerful and fast and highly efficient killers, this is one of their most difficult items of prey to take down. And it could be long into the darkness before anything happens, but again, we don't know where all the lions are. Some may have looped around and chased the buffalo back towards us. Anything could happen, and we've just got to consider ourselves very fortunate to be where we are right now. And again, thankful to Craig for making space for us to have a few glimpses of these animals and whatever happens. Now, the lioness are crossing the road behind us. I'm not going to turn the vehicle around, as some may well pop out to our right, but what we can expect is for them to cross over now. The buffaloes seem to be crossing slightly to the left, but then again there are some still to the right of the road, so we'll just keep an eye and see what happens. But the lion appeared to be crossing over to the left, and that could work well for us, because then they could possibly chase the buffalo back onto a property where we can see them. Craig, is that you? No, the Nyari are still slowly mobile south from where we last saw you. Some are heading east and a few are heading west, and Bengala are just trailing slowly. Yeah, that's only fair. So keep making your way, and I'll just have one last view of these lions, and then you can come in. check up here, and I'm waiting for you to tell me when you're ready. Well, again, Craig has refused my offer to return the favour and allow him to rejoin, which is only fair, and we've got to think about the long term, not just about this afternoon and the relationships between all of the guides here. But he's insisted that we stay. So stay we will. And VM is also a great shot. I don't know, there's just so much going on, we don't know where to film, but blue lioness to our right, but are also looking very intently, and you'll be able to see the fronts of their face as opposed to the back, which will be great. Absolute focus, and they've got a big task ahead of them, these lion. Now, what you may not notice is that it is darkening rapidly. VM will be altering the settings on the camera to give a lot more light. But what I can assure you is, what you can even see from their behavior, they're out in the open now and they are beginning to back the fact that it is darker and that it's harder for the buffalo to see them. It's by no certain, but it's certainly not pitch black. But it is darkening, and you can notice how their behavior is changing. Before they were only following in the thicker bush, and he needs to get involved now, this big boy over here, because he's going to be able to help out a lot. Clearly there's one lioness that's far ahead of the rest of the herd, pride rather, and she seems to be leading the attack, and she is heading after those buffalo with certain intent. It's just a matter of when they decide to attack. Now, I've yet to see this pride of lion trying to hunt buffalo, but I have heard from the other guides that they certainly can do, and in the past have taken down many a buffalo. So they are certainly not boxing out of their weight category. This is something that they have done in the past, and you'll find predators in specific areas will become specialists in hunting certain prey, and this is the largest prey that these lion have specialized in. Well, folks, I'm just going to take this quick opportunity to say goodbye to all of you. So, to all of you who have got other plans, goodbye and thanks so much for joining. What an afternoon it's been. And for those of you who don't have to go anywhere, we are going to extend the broadcast for as long as we possibly can, depending on what happens. So we will be extending, And apologies if any of you do have to go, but again, thanks for joining. And we're going to keep an eye on what goes on here. And it is just about time that we start to move the vehicle again, get a little bit closer. But I think it'll be about another 10 or 15 minutes before we expect any action. Copy that, Sean. Yeah, sorry, I did copy your message from earlier. Good evening. Buffalo appear to be tearing off to the east, which is not a good prospect for us. And I'm not sure if it's a lioness that's looped around and chased them. They aren't. They are moving from right to left, and the line, and we sadly will not be able to. Craig, the Nyari are now heading straight east, a couple hundred meters south of the last position where you left. Yeah, still not far behind. I'll be happy to move out, like I say, as soon as you're ready to rejoin. Copy. So I wonder what it was that caused the buffalo to all of a sudden, with quite a lot of intent, move towards the east. There are certain older and wiser buffalo, often the females within the herd, that determine the movements and direction that the herd goes in. And it could be these older females, or pathfinders as they are sometimes termed, but I've just got a feeling that it's time to head east. It doesn't appear to be because they know of the line it's too calm. We would hear stampeding and a lot of bushes crashing if in fact it was another lion that may have chased them. Oh, it's another lion that I can hear crunch. Lone buffalo or something else, but it's another lioness, and it's vocalizing, trying to call the rest of the pride. And we could expect a little bit of a greeting here, or will they just continue down the road? No, they're just going to continue walking down the road. But I do fear that this may be the end of the road for us this evening. The buffalo appear to have all crossed over to the east, and we'll just spend a few moments here inside, enjoying the last view of these lions before wishing them a happy night hunting buffalo. keep coming, Craig. I'll be out of here in 1 minute. Time. Thank you again very, very much. Well, as you very often, and I hope you've enjoyed every second. We'll certainly keep you updated on whether they were lucky, but they aren't all likely. But sadly don't have access. So we can just be grateful that we've had an afternoon like this. We've gone over time yet again. We've been having so much action that we've been going over time quite often. And from myself and VM and Mickey in the final control, thank you very much for all the questions you sent through, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning.